Yes. Yes to you for giving us this question. Will the Lakers sign Isaiah Thomas? Yeah, according to multiple reports that came out on Wednesday before we went live, Los Angeles Lakers looking into signing Isaiah Thomas. During a Pro-Am game this past weekend, IT went in for 81 points, and there was a clip that circulated on social media of him crying in the locker room. He was sobbing, saying that the NBA had given up on him. I don't know if the NBA gave up on Isaiah Thomas. He was the 60th pick back in 2011 and turned into an excellent offensive player. And back in, 2017, he was top 5 in MVP voting with the Boston Celtics. He was marvelous that season, but suffered that hip injury, a couple of other injuries, followed suit after that. And Isaiah Thomas still just not the same guy that he was back then. Also, he's somewhat of a liability defensively. Can he still get buckets at the NBA level? I think so. Could he fit on the Lakers? I do think so, and I agree with that. Uncle Jez, thanks for that super chat. Producer Sam, I'm not able to see those super chats right now because my internet once again is out, but shout out to that most recent super chat. Mike Mads 12, should the Lakers sign LaMarcus Aldridge if he returns next year? Yeah, I think Aldridge is in play for a team like the Boston Celtics, a team like the Brooklyn Nets, maybe even a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. I think Aldridge is going to go to a team where he can win an NBA championship this upcoming season. Didn't happen with Brooklyn last year because his season was cut short because of that heart issue. So Aldridge, go to a title contending team, because if you get that, really adds to an already very impressive resume. Who is your least favorite player in the NBA right now? I'd have to think about that. Least favorite player in the NBA. During the playoffs, it was Trae Young. He was really annoying me. Got mad respect for his game. I thought what he did in the playoffs was great, but I'm a Sixers fan, and Trae Young put the dagger in my heart. Theo B, will Mac McClung win the NBA Slam Dunk Contest? I don't know about that. He certainly has the hops to compete in the Slam Dunk Contest. I was watching him play with the Lakers in the Summer League over the weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'm not just saying this because they're both white dudes who are really athletic, but can Mac McClung become down the road Alex Caruso? I compare these two guys because they're athletic, they can shoot at least a little bit, they have some type of creation ability. Alex Caruso was undrafted out of Texas A&M, Mac McClung undrafted out of Texas Tech, and Mac McClung coming out of high school before he committed to Georgetown and then went to Texas Tech under Chris Beard was a YouTube superstar. This guy was looked at as a future NBA draft prospect, and he had a really good college career. He just kind of flatlined a bit. Andrew Barroso, hopefully I said that right. Do the Lakers add DeMarcus Cousins? Maybe as a second or third option at center coming off the bench. They already brought in Dwight Howard. They lost Andre Drummond. You still have Marc Gasol on the roster. You're somewhat thin at the center spot, and I thought DeMarcus Cousins gave the Clippers a little bit of juice in the playoffs last year, especially in that series against the Phoenix Suns. Prior to that, he really didn't play much at all. I mean, he was getting DNP'd somewhat consistently. Obviously, Boogie, not the guy he once was in his prime. Injuries have zapped him of that. Can he be a steady second or third option at center? Potentially for Los Angeles. Robbie Lake Show chiming in with this. Who starts in the opener next to Russ for the Los Angeles Lakers? I've flirted around and thought about this Lakers starting five for a while. Right now, I'm settling in on Wayne Ellington as being the starter at the two-guard spot. I think the starting lineup for the Lakers, and I think Frank Vogel's going to mix and match with this a lot this upcoming season, is going to be Russell Westbrook at point guard, Wayne Ellington at the 2, LeBron James at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 4, with Marc Gasol at the 5. But I also think Vogel could mess around with Dwight Howard at the 5, but also Anthony Davis has said that he's willing to play the center spot as well, which opens up a spot at small forward or the 2 guard if LeBron James moves to the 4 and Anthony Davis goes to the 5. So maybe in that case, a Kendrick Nunn or Malik Monk would start at the 2 guard spot. For all my hoopers and homies out there, show me that you're a real one. And if you're a real one, give me a follow on Twitter at Chase_Senior. We're doing this during our live show on Wednesday. If you give me a follow, I'll give you a shout out later on today's live show. This question coming in from Yes. What should the Lakers starting five be? Good question. We've talked about this a little bit. I think it's going to be Russell Westbrook at the 1. At the 2, you can go with Wayne Ellington, or you can go with Malik Monk, even Kendrick Nunn for spot starts. LeBron James at the 3. I think you could go with Anthony Davis at the 4. And you can go with Marc Gasol or Dwight Howard, depending on what lineup you go up against. Or you could go with Anthony Davis at the 5. He's shown going into this offseason that he's willing to play there more often. That shifts everybody else around. And then do you include, in that case, Monk as well as Ellington in that starting 5? A lot of different options the Lakers can go with. David Legic, hopefully I said that right. Do you think the Lakers will sign Paul Millsap or a guy like James Ennis? Yeah, maybe a guy like James Ennis. Paul Millsap, if he's really trying to chase a ring, I think that he could sign elsewhere worth more money. But is Paul Millsap content with all of the bags that he's been able to secure throughout his NBA career? Who do you think was the best signing in NBA free agency? Could it be a guy like Kyle Lowry? Maybe even Chris Paul? Do you like the Rudy Gay signing? Do you like Jeff Green? More of value deals that we're discussing here. Who was the best signing in NBA free agency? Give me some names in the comments section. Juan's Toy Show. Can Kevin Love go to the Lakers? If he gets bought out by the Cavs and then he signs for the veterans minimum with the Lakers. That's really it. Kevin Love on his current contract, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 plus, $30 plus million. If it's a straight up trade to Los Angeles, couldn't happen. If it's a buyout, some type of restructure, he's willing to take the veterans minimum, then potentially. And the Lakers kind of thin at the front court spots. I think Love is a floor spacer, a guy who can stretch the floor and knock down some threes. Kind of intriguing on the Lakers if they can afford him. King Rakeem reacts. Lakers should get defensive two-way player Lance Stephenson. I hope that's a joke. I mean, Lance Stephenson is washed. Lance Stephenson is too busy playing pickup basketball right now. Lance Stephenson can no longer be on a title contending team. I understand he was with the Lakers a couple years ago. Those days, they're in the rear view now. Here at Chat Sports, we pride ourselves on being alpha dogs. So are you a lion or are you a sheep? Type L for lion, type S for sheep, and if you're a lion, subscribe to Chat Sports. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV or hit that red subscribe button down below. This is your hub for all of your NBA news and rumors and all of your NBA coverage because we cover the association league round. NBA free agency, we went live for 5 days straight. NBA draft night, we were live for 8 straight hours. Anytime a trade happens, we hit you with the breaking news. We have team-specific channels here at Chat Sports. But subscribe to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV, or hit that red subscribe button down below.